Hello everyone. This is Monday. So we are starting mathematics class and today we are revising our first chapter rational numbers which we have already completed, or we can also say that we are going to see the chapter at a glance. The first topic was what is a rational number. We have seen that the numbers that can be expressed in P by Q form, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are co-primes, are the rational numbers. Rational numbers are all denoted by capital Q and they are also known as quotient numbers. And we have also seen that all the natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are also rational numbers as they can be written in P by Q form. So this is all about rational numbers, children. You should be very clear about it. If you have any doubt, you can go to your first video and watch it again and try to be very clear about this concept. And now coming over to the properties of rational numbers. We have seen that every property is to be checked under all the four mathematical operations: addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. The first property what we have seen was closure property. That is, when two rational numbers are added, if sum is also a rational number, we say that rational numbers are closed under addition. When two rational numbers are subtracted, when the difference is a rational number, we say that rational numbers are closed under subtraction. Similarly, the product of two rational numbers is also a rational number. We say that rational numbers are closed under multiplication. But in division, when you divide any two rational numbers, we get a rational number. But if it is not true for even one number, we say that it is not satisfying the closure property, and this is only for 0. If any number is divided by 0, because 0 is also a rational number, the answer is not defined. So we say that rational numbers are closed under the operation addition, subtraction and multiplication. And the second property was commutative property, and we see that addition and multiplication are commutative in the set of rational numbers. And the third property was associative property. Again, the operation addition multiplication are associative for the rational number. And the fourth property was about the additive identity. From our lower classes, we have seen that 0 is the identity element, and this 0 exists in the set of rational numbers. And next is multiplicative identity. We know that 1 is the multiplicative identity element and this exists in the set of rational numbers. And now coming over to the additive inverse. A rational number and its additive inverse are opposite in their sign. That means when we add if we add two rational numbers and the sum is 0, then those two numbers, opposite numbers, same number with opposite signs, are called additive inverse of each other. And now the next property is multiplicative inverse. And I forget to tell you, additive inverse of every number exists in the set of rational numbers. And about the multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse of any rational number is its reciprocal. When we multiply a number and its multiplicative inverse, we get the product 1. Then those two numbers are called the multiplicative inverses of each other. And in the set of rational numbers, reciprocal of every number exists. So we say that there exists a multiplicative inverse for every rational number in the set of rational numbers. And now the last property was distributive property, which was multiplication over addition, means A of B plus C is AB plus AC, where A is equally distributed to B and C in the bracket. And the last one is distributive property of multiplication over subtraction, where A of B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. That means A is equally distributed to B and C. So these are all about the properties which you have to remember, understand and reproduce whenever is required. And now we have already seen that every rational number can be represented on a number line. Every rational number is in P by Q form. So we also say that it is a fraction if it is positive. If it is negative, we don't call it as a fraction. So if the given fraction is a proper fraction, then the position of that fraction is it between 0 and 1 if it is positive. If it is negative, it is in between 0 and minus 1. And if the given rational number represents an improper fraction, then its mixed fraction decides its position on the number line. And we have seen that any rational number represented in P by Q form can be represented on a number line, but while doing that, we see that the denominator decides the equal parts. Every unit is to be divided and the numerator divides how many parts are to be considered. Suppose the denominator is 3, every unit is divided into 3 parts, and suppose the numerator is 4, so the fourth part will be 4 by 3. And we have also seen that there is a property of density, that means there exists infinite number of rational numbers in between any two rational numbers, and this is called the property of density. And now we have seen that a rational number can be represented in a decimal form, which is either a terminating decimal or a non-terminating recurring decimal number. Similarly, a terminating decimal number or a non-terminating recurring decimal number can be written in P by Q form or a rational form. That means a number in P by Q, when P is divided by Q, you get either a terminating decimal or a non-terminating recurring decimal. Similarly, you can change a terminating decimal or a non-terminating recurring decimal in P by Q form, or which is also known as rational form. Dear children, we have completed first chapter. You have to write every slide as a classwork, but don't write this last PPT, the last video as a slide, as this is the revision. But these two do this were left while completing the topics. So these two you have to write in classwork and try to complete your classwork and be regular. And if you have any doubt, you have my number in your group. You can ask me to my personal contact number. I will definitely help you to clear your doubts. Thank you, children. Thank you for paying the attention. And I think that every one of you are very eager to complete the chapter.